Hi guys, this is Banster for Life here, and I'm doing my video on the breaking point. So I'll give you a little bit of background. I was always a big girl from the point of probably 5 years old. Me and my sister would play Miami Vice, and I always had to be Tubbs, and she was always Crockett, and kind of was like, because I was a chubby one. It wasn't just because of the name. When somebody would call me, I remember we knew this little Chinese boy, and he would always call me Pork Chop. And so, you know, I don't know if I was okay with being big. I know I wasn't, you know, but it was just me. I had my first baby at 16. My oldest, which she's now 21, and I can remember when I came out of there saying, wow, I've lost weight. You know, they had me in a high risk because I was obese. I remember after having my child, going back for a 6-week checkup, and the doctor walked out, and I looked down on the paper and it said obese. And I was thinking that I had lost a good amount of weight, 20 pounds, and I was down to a size 22. And I was like overjoyed. And then when I looked down on that paper and I saw that sign, saw that paper that said obese in her handwriting, I got so upset. And, you know, I lived my life and went through it. I enjoyed being big. To me, you know, I never had a problem with boys or, you know, stuff like that. I always had plenty of friends. And then I met my husband, got married. I was with him for years, and I did Weight Watchers in 2009. And I finally, whether it was because I was getting older or what have you, maybe something just clicked. So I had lost a good amount of weight. I was 315 pounds. I got down to like 215, I want to say. And I might have even went down to like 210 or something. I don't know. I know it wasn't under 2. And actually might have been more than 315 now that I'm thinking about it. It might have been about 330 now that I'm thinking about it. And so anyways, I lost that weight, and I found out that my husband of 17 years decided to cheat on me. And one of his reasonings beyond it was because I was taking time out from me. At that same time that I found out he was cheating on me, my mom had passed away. So I had to call him when my mom passed away and asked him where he was and could he come get me. And my mom had passed, and it took him probably about a half hour to come get me. So, anyways, 2 days after my mom had passed, it was a Sunday. I woke up in the morning and I looked down, and he was sleeping on the couch. And I looked down and I said, "Good morning. Get your shit and get the fuck out." Excuse my language. And he said, "What?" And I said, "Get your shit and get out." So he automatically got up and walked out like it was okay. And so he knocked on the door about 3 days later. He was calling me constantly. I actually changed my numbers. And like I said, something just banged in my head. And, you know, I started gaining that weight back again. All that weight and all I had worked for and struggled for with Weight Watchers, I was just gaining again. And it's just always a vicious cycle. You know, from the age of 10, I joined Weight Watchers 62 times. I had joined Weight Watchers. I had done Slim Fast. I had done Medifast. I had done Brazilian pills that cost $275 to get shipped to my house. I've done the Swarm Bee thing that you are like jittery the whole day. You know, I did anything I could do to just lose a little bit of weight to be normal. You know, I was sick of eating. You get to the point where you get tired of eating. you know, and then I would start these diets on a Monday. It was always a Monday, you know, we started them on Monday and they always ended like on a Wednesday, and I would start that next Monday, and it was just horrible. And so, yeah, I had crept back up there, and I got to about 250 or whatever. I started losing weight again, and that's when I looked into lap band. And once I had looked into the lap band, I didn't have insurance, so I had talked to my boyfriend about it, and I had asked him, oh, by the way, I'm divorced a long time. I got divorced, kicked him out, he was done, he's gone. Well, he's still a big daddy, but he's, yeah, I got rid of him, because once you cheat, you're always a cheater, and I don't play that shit. So, yeah, he got booted out the door. I moved on. I got a little wisdom in me, and so I started really investigating it. You know, I was crept back up, and I trying to start all these diets again, and ordering the Brazilian stuff that I thought would help because it was so much money. It had to help, and didn't work. So I started looking into lap band. Well, I went to the doctors, and I said I want lap band, and they said okay, it's going to be about $15,000. So I asked my boyfriend for a loan. I also did carecredit.com, not.com, Care Credit, and I got a loan for them, and that's when I got my journey started. And when the day of surgery, I believe I was 231.8. So my breaking point for me, what was my breaking point would be losing my mom, who when she passed was probably 450 pounds. I also was a diabetic, and after I left my husband and everything, they had said to me, we're putting you on blood pressure pills. So they put me on hydrochlorothiazide along with my diabetic oral, along with something else to help lower my blood pressure. And it was then that I said, you know, when am I going to stop? And you know, with having surgery, is that what I'm realizing, you know, when people say food addict, I'm like, yeah, right. You know, like, people can lose weight, they just ain't got no will, you know? And I'm very successful. I'm an all or in it girl. I've said this from the beginning. I'm either all in for something, or when I'm out, I'm out, which means I'm binging for a while. Not a meal, not 2 meals, not a day. I'm going after it for a while. It's going to take me a minute to get out of that frame of mind. When people talk about that whole food addict phrase, I didn't realize it until now. There are certain things that will absolutely trigger me. Chocolate, that's one of my triggers. Chips, I do not have chips. Chocolate, what I'm finding that I do is I make my own kind of chocolatey things. I'll do the chocolate protein shake, or I'll do real whipped cream with a little bit of protein, chocolate protein powder. So I'm still getting my protein powder in, but then I know I'm okay, you know. I'm also eating more clean, which helps me not to have those trigger feelings all the time. I mean, I see, my sister's actually an addict, and I actually see and understand more about addictive personalities, because I think that being a food addict, you actually, you know, you have that addictive personality. It is a gene that's in you that, you know, you do have. And unfortunately, I absolutely agree with, I'm one of those people that have that food addict gene. Thank God I have the band. Thank God I did it. You know, I'm down now to 166. I'm dedicated. I'm driven. I will not stop until I get to my goal. Once I get to my goal, I will not stop. I will maintain. And, you know, I got to be perfectly honest with you. I know that everybody's journey is their own journey, and everything is in moderation. But when you're a food addict, you have to know. I like Rob's video the other day. He brought cheese in the house, and he knew he had to take it back out. And that's good of him, you know, to know to take it back out. And I know right now I can't always go out to eat. I'm going to want that bread. If that means I'm going to PB, I still have to have that bread and then I'll PB. So I don't go out. You know, there's certain things. I'm going to be 8 months out, I believe. I'm 33 weeks, 37 weeks. I was banded on March 19th. So, you know, I'm going to be 8 months pretty soon. And to me, that's still a newbie. That's still a learning curve. And, you know, everybody has their breaking points. Everybody has their breaking points. But I really do believe that once you have the surgery, that you got to give it all your all. You know, we're all going to